I would first like to ask the council a question. How many of you...
Sir, you made direct statements to the members of the board. There will be no interaction between the board and the speakers.
Well, wait a minute, sir. My question is, how many of y'all going to be affected by this rate increase like the rest of us?
Sir, you may direct your statements to the chair.
Okay, Chairman, I would like to know how many members of this board will be affected by this supposed industrial rate increase.
I would hope everyone.
No, I'm talking about y'all.
That's what I'm saying. I would hope everyone.
Can I see a show of hands?
Sir, we are not going to respond to you. You can state whatever you would like to state concerning the rate increase, but that would not be no back and forth between you and the members of this.
No, sir. What I'm trying to let me finish.
No, sir. I'm a parliamentarian, and I will govern this. Now, this is an opportunity for the public to be heard regarding any comments that they have regarding the proposed increases.
Okay.
It's not an opportunity to cross-examine people. It's an opportunity for you to say your thoughts and to give the board the benefit of your wisdom regarding the proposed act.
My pet question and statement to the board is, this rate increase is crazy. In simple terms, I'd use other words, but it's crazy. Y'all are imposing or trying to impose a rate increase that almost triples what the normal rate of inflation is at 2.3%. So what you're doing is you're increasing a rate on people and then double dipping on other people, which I think is wrong. It's unconstitutional. All the rate increase is going to do is pass on that to the other consumers, which other people, a lot of people here are unemployed. They don't have a job. They're unemployed. They don't have a job. They're retired. They're living on a fixed income. So y'all are really just putting it more to the county citizens and the people who use the water and sewer rates in this county. Especially when y'all don't show nothing for your effort. Y'all never have. Oh yeah, you got a big sewer plant out there, but it took FEMA money, it took the state money and federal money, but it did not, the people didn't want it out there. Like I was talking with Councilman later, City of Pensacola has not learned anything, and I don't think y'all have either if you increase this rate, because it's unfair. Totally unfair. And if y'all do vote for this rate increase, I'm going to ask that y'all resign because you're not representing the people who elected you to this board to serve their interests. You're serving some Wall Street broker. You're not serving the people. You're serving somebody else.
You've got 10 seconds, sir.
I call for y'all's resignation because this board is unfair. They're going to vote for it anyway, regardless of what we say or what we do.
Thanks.
I'm having a little problem with your rate increase. 1969, commercial rate was $5. You could use all the water you want. That took care of sewage, everything. Your residential rate was $3.61. Your rate is currently 25% higher than what it should be according to the rate of inflation. Now, you want to increase your rate from everything that I've noticed by better than 34% per item. That's going to end up being almost 70%. Last year, you had a 5.5% increase. So far, you've outstripped inflation, something fierce. I don't know about you, but I know that there are people I see here that are on fixed incomes. I see a lot of people out there who are on reduced incomes. You can't afford when you don't have the money to pay it. If you can't get by on what you make now, you need to rethink what your plans are. You enjoyed being a principal of Washington High.
Sir, you must stick to the rate increase here.
Okay,
Don't
that's
bring up
fine.
my history.
All right. What I'm trying to get at is that you cannot force people to pay what they don't have. By increasing the rate on people who are on fixed incomes and those people who don't have jobs, you're going to take money that they could use towards nutrition, rent, clothing, heat, and other taxes. Currently, your rate increase will be detrimental and ruinous to a lot of people in the city of Pensacola and the county of Escambia County.
Hear, hear.
Now, you need to rethink that. I realize that things need to be done, just like the repairs to every person's house. But when you don't have the money to make the repairs, you make do without them. I suggest that you make do with what you have.
You have 10 seconds.
My wallet is not open for you to put your fingers in. Yes, sir.
You have 10 seconds.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I would like to remind, I would like to remind the public that when a person is up speaking, we will not tolerate interruption. If you insist on interrupting the speaker, you will be asked to leave the boardroom. The next speaker is Diane Mack.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the board.
Good afternoon.
I appreciate this opportunity. My address is 29 East Wright Street. I am a city councilwoman, a resident of the city of Pensacola, Escambia County, and also a business owner. As an elected representative of the citizens of the city of Pensacola, I fully understand the responsibility that you, as well as I, have to make provision over the long term for the infrastructure upon which delivery of services and proper functioning of government depends. But we have an equal responsibility to consider and weigh the consequences of the actions that we take to provide for that infrastructure. The proposed water and sewer rate increases would have serious consequences for institutions, residents, and business owners that are currently struggling in a recessionary economy made worse locally by the BP oil disaster. You all know the high poverty rate in Escambia County and the extraordinary number of school children here who receive free or reduced price lunches. Think of the working class families struggling to make it on low wages, families who live in older houses that do not have water conserving devices and who can't afford to install them. Finally, but most crucially, please think of the consequences to the county's businesses, large and small.
This rate increase will possibly be financially and medically painful for many of your customers. At the special board meeting where the rate increase was discussed, much time was spent on the so-called conservation rate, which doesn't appear in the current document, which was an increase of 2 cents per 1,000 gallons for those residential customers only that used over 20,000 gallons in a month. Toward the end of the meeting, you briefly discussed the 10% rate increase as it applied to the volume charge. Not discussed at all, however, was the 10% rate increase as it applied to the basic charge for a customer using no additional water or any water at all. They still pay that. There has been, to my knowledge, no dramatic increase in ECUA costs related to water production. While I would like to remain friendly with the current board so that I may work with them in the future, I must say that the proposed multi-year rate increase feels like political cowardice. 2 board members up for re-election this year have voted for almost all of the projects associated with moving the Main Street wastewater treatment plant. However, this year they will probably vote against the rate increase necessary to pay for the replacement plant. The other 3 members will pass the multi-year rate increase, and they will not face voters for 2 years, at which time the rate increase will be a distant memory. Elderly customers living on a fixed income have seen no cost of living adjustment for the 2nd year. A proposed rate increase is going to adversely impact their quality of life. The board members will feel no pain from the proposed rate increase, although you'll all pay it. However, many customers will. The plant that this is going to be used to pay for, essentially, is supposed to be, or at least it was sold to the public, to be more efficient and cheaper to operate than the old Main Street wastewater treatment plant. That's the way the project was sold. However, it's not economical to pump raw sewage as much as 24 miles uphill for about, 24 miles. Everyone associated with the utility has been bragging about how the new central wastewater treatment plant is going to be completed ahead of schedule and under budget. Let me remind you that the original cost was supposed to be $165 million, and the public was told many times. Sir?
You have 10 seconds, sir.
Right, we were told many times it would be had to be done in less than 5 years, and apparently that was not as critical as we thought at the time. Mr. Chairman, may I have another 10 seconds?
10 seconds.
That would have been September 16th of 2009, which occurred over a year ago. Apparently time is not a critical factor. Rushing into the project, like I said all along, was ill-advised. And that concludes my remarks at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Tweedy.
Hi, my name's Dave. I'm just trying to make the world a better place. As an American citizen, ex-military Navy officer, I took an oath to obey the Constitution of my state and to protect it and defend it against enemies, foreign and domestic. But they never taught me a course in the Constitution. They just taught me the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So I since have taken some courses in it, and I call myself a constitutional scholar. And I understand that the Constitution of the United States was originally called We the People. It wasn't called the Constitution. It states that that government has privileges granted by the people, but the people have all the rights. All of them. We need government for some things. But we need to keep it in the fireplace. Not let it get out. One of the main things that John Locke's philosophy, 100 years before the Constitution was ever written, was that people have a right, regardless of what kind of government they form and consent to, protection of life, liberty, health, possessions. And in the schools they teach life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, but that's really just the nastygram called the Declaration of Independence that was sent to King George. The Constitution says life, liberty, and property, protection of that, without loss except by due process. And this is a tax, and it's a tax without representation. I'm pretty sure because I took a poll in the beginning, and I also know that these people do not subordinate to you. You subordinate to these people. And the only reason you're sitting up on this layer of air is so that they can see who they're the boss of. Do I need to say anything more? I would like everybody to study the Constitution. Everyone. If you'll read it, you'll be astonished. And remember, the first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. It took 4 years to pass that. They had to follow the Bill of Rights.
You have 10 seconds, sir.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I sure wouldn't want to be in your shoes today.
Thank you.